we are going to celebrate the quiet ones. We are going to explore 12 things that introverts are absolutely the best at doing. Number 1 is the ability to have thought-provoking conversations. If there is one thing that most introverts truly struggle with, it is small talk. The surface-level exchanges about the weather, the score of the game last night, or the generic, "How are you?" that expects a generic, "I am fine" in return. These things feel empty to an introvert. They often view chit-chat as worthless filler that clogs the airwaves and prevents real connection. Because of this disdain for idle chatter, they are often mislabeled as rude or unsociable. But this is not the case at all. The truth is, introverts want to get straight to the heart of the matter. They want the meat of the conversation. They want to know your deepest thoughts, your wildest dreams, your fears, and the theories you have about the universe that you are too afraid to share with anyone else. They do not want the rehearsed script. They want the raw, unedited story of who you are. Introverts have a natural therapist or guidance counselor mentality. They possess a quiet charisma that creates a safe container, making you feel comfortable enough to speak your mind and bare your soul. This dynamic is wonderful for everyone involved. The introvert gets the satisfaction of a meaningful, substantial interaction without the exhaustion of small talk. And you get a part-time therapist, someone who will truly listen to you, validate your feelings, and explore the depths of your mind with you. Number 2 is, surprisingly to some, being effective salespeople. I know what you might be thinking. You might be asking, "Jenny, how can that be? Does sales not require constant, high-energy interaction, while the stereotype of the salesperson is the loud, aggressive extrovert? Introverts actually excel here for different reasons. Introverts pay attention. They care deeply, and they function incredibly well in familiar situations where they can prepare. This allows them to be quietly confident in their daily jobs, even in sales. Because they are highly cognitive people who process information deeply. Introverts take the time to fully understand their product, their customer, and the potential outcomes of a conversation. They do not just wing it. From this deep preparation, introverts are ready for unexpected events. When a customer has an objection, is cranky, or asks a touchy question, the introvert is not thrown off balance. They have likely already thought about this scenario. They might not enjoy the conflict, but they can handle it effectively because they listen to what the customer actually needs rather than just pushing a script. They solve problems rather than just making noise, and that is a powerful sales tactic. Number 3 is taking care of animals. There is a special bond between the quiet souls of the world and our furry friends. Introverts love to be swaddled in love and affection by those they trust, and often, animals provide the safest, most unconditional form of that love. Therefore, introverts enjoy returning the favor tenfold. They are absolute professionals at taking care of animals, especially when they can do it in solitude. If you need a dog sitter, your introverted friend is likely the best candidate. If you need someone to watch your cat while you are on vacation, look no further. Introverts have absolutely no problem snuggling up next to a dog, a cat, a bunny, or even a goldfish, and spending a nice, quiet day together. In many situations, they actually enjoy the company of animals more than humans because animals do not demand constant conversation. They sympathize with animals. An introvert can calm a troubled pet because they are experienced in calming their own troubled minds. They understand the need for rest after excitement. They understand that sometimes you just want to eat, have fun, and then curl up in silence. Number 4 is being observant. When an introvert is quiet, do not mistake it for disinterest or emptiness. They are not quiet without a purpose. They are observing. While the rest of the room is talking over one another about the latest trend or a weird dream they had, the introvert is watching and listening. They are gathering data. They see the way your forehead wrinkles slightly when your grandfather is mentioned. They notice that there is a new painting hanging in the office that everyone else walked past. Introverts spend a vast amount of time watching and memorizing their surroundings and environments so that they feel comfortable enough to interact with them. It is a survival mechanism and a strength. Who would jump into the darkness without a flashlight? Introverts prefer to analyze their surroundings rather than rely on biases. This means that when they finally do voice a concern or point something out, it should be taken very seriously. They are usually the first to notice when something is slightly out of the ordinary. They are the ones who can play devil's advocate effectively because they have noticed the flaws in ideas and concepts that others missed while they were too busy talking. They have likely thought about the worst-case scenario and how to get out of it, so trust their observations. Number 5 is being great leaders. This point is often notably surprising to people. How can someone who dislikes abundant social interaction be a great leader when we assume a leader's job is to be the loudest voice in the room? Well, recent polls and studies show that not all successful leaders are extroverts. In fact, some of the best are introverts. While outgoing individuals use their charisma and high energy to command attention, reserved bosses lay low. They observe their team members. They know what is best for the person and the situation because they have been paying attention. An introverted leader never speaks just to be heard or to remind you that they are the boss. When they speak, it is to assist and help. Because introverts imagine themselves in almost every situation to be prepared, they are empathetic leaders. They are careful, attentive, humble, and prepared. They are comfortable working alone, which shows that good leadership is not always flashy. It is about steady guidance. So, if you ever have a boss who is more on the shy or reserved side, please do not think they dislike you or think they are better than you. It could simply be that they are an introvert who sees that you are doing a good job and does not feel the need to interrupt your flow with unnecessary words. Number 6 is being great workers. Alongside being great leaders, introverts know very well when to take a step back and simply get the work done. They are attentive, wholehearted, determined, and motivated to always do their very best. Since introverts usually do not rely on a quick wit or fast talking to get them out of sticky situations, they rely on the quality of their work. They use their intellectual prowess to provide an answer rather than an excuse. If you hand an introvert an extended project and let them work alone in a comfortable, quiet environment, you will often get incredible results. They do not need constant supervision because they are their own harshest critics. They are always triple-checking themselves, seeing the flaws in everything, and preparing every argument that could be made against their work. They work around these potential issues to avoid confrontation, resulting in a polished final product. These qualities make them effective followers and team members as well. They are dedicated to the completion of their responsibility, provided their solitude is respected and undisturbed. Number 7 is listening to your troubles. We have all been there. Have you ever needed to vent, confided in a close friend, and felt like they were not really listening? Perhaps they were checking their phone, or you could see them waiting for their turn to speak. That is the opposite of an introvert. Since introverts know how hard it is for them to express their emotions verbally. If a loved one expresses feelings to them, they will listen hard and they will listen well. Introverts are the perfect people to go to when you need a shoulder to cry on or just someone to hear your story without judgment. As I mentioned earlier, introverts hate small talk. So, if you bypass the trivia and go straight to the deep, meaty emotional talk, they will provide an impeccable set of ears. They will often have incredible advice because they have been truly processing what you said. Introverts are sensitive to pain, both their own and the pain of others. They can tell when you are really upset, even if you are trying to hide it. If a reserved friend asks you if everything is all right, do not hide behind the phrase, "I am fine." They know you are not. Go ahead and tell them, There is no better support system than an introverted friend who is ready to listen. Number 8 is counseling. In addition to listening, introverts excel at helping you actually cope with your worries. They can read people with startling accuracy, while others are just hearing the words. An introvert analyzes and interprets the speaker's thoughts, actions, choice of words, and preconceptions. They notice the little body expressions you do not even realize you are doing, the fidgeting hands, the avoidance of eye contact. They can help you pin down exactly what is bothering you, sometimes before you even realize it yourself. They can suggest how to resolve it because, unfortunately, many introverts are familiar with internal pain and suffering. They are experienced in how to alleviate emotional turmoil. Furthermore, they understand that calming someone down is not always about talking. It is about understanding and making deep relationships built on trust. Being empathetic is what introverts do best. They know that having someone there, just sitting in silence and supporting you in a time of need, is just as comforting as a nice warm hug. And often, an introvert will be the one to initiate that hug when words fail. Number 9 is thinking before acting. Introverts do not speak quite often, so when they do, you can be sure that every single word was chosen very carefully ahead of time. Sometimes, due to this internal process, introverts may take a while to get a sentence out. They are mentally preparing, editing, and rehearsing each word before they allow it to cross their lips. They want to be precise. They want to be understood. Since introverts take a while to express themselves, many extroverts make the mistake of ignoring them or talking over them. This is heartbreaking, as it can cause introverts to become even more shy to avoid the embarrassment of being ignored again. It can be traumatic, so I urge you, if your introverted friend speaks up, pay close attention. Stop what you're doing and listen, because what he or she has to say is probably incredibly important, well thought out, and valuable. They have filtered out the noise and are offering you a gem of wisdom. Number 10 is knowing themselves. We all know the saying that quiet people have the loudest minds. Introverts spend a significant amount of time inside their own heads. From this constant introspection, they know themselves pretty well. They are silent critics of the world, but also of themselves. They are constantly having inner monologues, evaluating themselves, their choices, and their reactions in everyday situations. Because of this, they rarely have existential crises in the way others might. Because they are constantly doing the work of figuring out who they are. They can easily figure out their strengths and weaknesses. They know what they want, they know what they do not want, and they know what is important to them. They might not broadcast this information to the world. They might not tell you all of that information. You could say that they are silent but confident. They possess a grounded sense of self that is not easily shaken by external validation, because their validation comes from within. Number 11 is being a source of wisdom. By nature, introverts love information. They love learning, reading, and discovering new things. They might not be the first person to sign up for a group mountain climbing expedition, but they will definitely be all over a new scientific discovery or a complex historical documentary. Their minds are constantly urging for more facts, more depth, and more things to ponder over in the silence of their daily lives. Not only that, but they use these interesting facts and information to share with others when the time is truly relevant. They do not show off their knowledge just to seem smart. They offer it when it can help. You never know when you're quiet. Soft-voiced friend might know the exact answer to your problems after reading about a similar situation months ago. They are like human libraries, storing away information that might be useful one day. They are a resource, a well of wisdom waiting to be tapped by those who take the time to ask. Number 12 is being a loyal friend. If you have befriended an introvert, you have a treasure. Introvert friends will not betray you. They have no reason to. They value the sanctity of the private world too much to violate yours. They would never talk about you behind your back or lie to you in a harmful way. Every secret desire, every fear, or every dream you have ever shared with them will always be safe, whether or not the friendship lasts forever. Introverts cherish friendships deeply because they do not have the energy to maintain hundreds of superficial connections. They pour all their energy into a select few deep ones. No matter the circumstances, they would never betray someone who once confided in them. They value relationships and try hard to keep them, which makes them some of the best friends you will ever have in your entire life. They are loyal, consistent, and present. So, as we come to the end of our time together today, I want you to reflect on these 12 points. Introverts have quite a lot of skills packed into those quiet little bodies. If you are an extrovert, I encourage you not to be hesitant to communicate with your silent peers. Do not mistake their silence for lack of personality. Reach out, but do so gently. Skip the small talk and ask them something real. You will be surprised at what they are capable of and the depth of the world they inhabit. And if you are an introvert listening to this, I want you to be proud. Stand tall in your quiet power. You have absolutely nothing to feel inferior about. Behind that shyness lies a storm of talents, a depth of empathy, and a brilliant mind. You are a leader, a healer, a creator, and a loyal friend. The world needs your silence just as much as it needs the noise. You bring balance, wisdom, and heart to a world that often moves too fast. Embrace your nature, for it is a beautiful gift. Thank you so much for joining me today on Happy Aura. I hope this message resonated with you and helped you see yourself or your loved ones in a new, beautiful light. Remember to take care of your inner world, for that is where your true power lies. Until next time, sending you love and light.